with that title, of course, you've got to say that there's going to be a green imperative here, hasn't there, Elaine?
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is, the formation of the National Pipeline Company is really the government's plan to restructure the sector. See, in the past, the midstream assets have been largely controlled and owned by PetroChina and Sinopec, and third parties cannot access them. In the future, what's going to happen is the central government is going to own and control these assets and then open the access to third parties. So, these midstream...
Just like a national grid in a way, isn't it?
Yes, in a way, because these midstream assets are basically like the highway, right, for the transportation of gas. If downstream gas utilities don't have access to them, they really can't source LNG from overseas suppliers. But that's all going to change in the future.
Elaine, tell me though, how does this affect your view of those companies and exactly their profitability and their revenue stream? Exactly, how does it affect those?
Well, the way I see it is the two things, right? One is there's a greater variety of supply. So if I'm a gas utility, I'm going to have more opportunities to source overseas and then transport these gas to my projects. So that's one. And the second thing is I believe the overall transmission fee of gas will also likely be reduced. So if you have lower gas costs, that will in turn stimulate gas demand.
Elaine, give us some of your top picks then, given that we're seeing these reforms, the pipeline changes, and more broadly, what's happening with the economy. Why? Give us some names and why.
Yeah, so the way we assess, who are the beneficiaries is we look at a couple of things. Firstly, we look at the penetration rate of these gas utilities. So by and large, national gas penetration rate right now is at about 40%. So a lot of the gas utilities that we cover are at about 50%. So that's one way to look at how much more growth they have. Another way we look at these is to see how many of them have exposure in northeastern China. Because what's going to happen in December is China is going to start importing gas from Russia. That's really going to benefit companies with projects in northeastern China. So as a result, some of the two top ideas that we prefer right now are China Gas and China Resources Gas.
Are the valuations, is this baked into the valuations for these companies, or is there more opportunity here?
If you look at the current valuation of the sector in general, they're trading at around mid-teens PE multiple with earnings growth of about 15% a year. So this, we believe, is not totally baked in by the market yet. And if you look at how the stocks generally trade, the couple of things that we look at in terms of growth, one is volume, then the other is connection fee, and both are boding well for the sector in general.